Right then guys, so it's just going to be a quick on this one because I'm just going to roll a little bit of a paste that someone's ordered off me. So I thought I'd actually do it for you and show you. I'm sure most of you know how to roll paste anyway, but for anyone that don't, here we go. Right, so the eggs are small. It's only going to be, it's for a tub. Someone's ordered a tub of paste off me, and this is the last bit of his order. So it's just a small, probably just under half a kilo. It's going to fit in a tub hopefully. Right then guys, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to add a little bit of, very low on actually, a little bit of amino. And a small touch of liver powder. Now the liver powder ain't that important in this bake, but I do like to add it because it gives you a brown colour without actually having to put a food colouring in there. So we put them two in. What we do then is we add shake first. Bloodworm. Right, so it's bloodworm and breadcrumb. What it stings, that does. And I'm going to pull the actual proper goodness is I'm going to add a little bit of brown colouring to that. The touch. That's probably not needed because, like I said, the liver powder will do the job for you. But it definitely. It's just that I really wanted the paste to match the feed bait, because obviously if you want to, it's still giving the same attraction off. It's full of goodness. So we're going to add a little bit of, well, a decent amount of liver powder to this now. I need just about that much of the krill. So it's got the krill in the liquid form, and then it's got the krill in powder form. So then we bang that freezer door shut, and then we whip that together. That's really looking nice now, that is. That's what we've got at the minute. So it's bloodworm, and so then I've just made these up today. These I'll let you have a good look at these actually. These are the base mixers now before, but I've slightly altered stuff up with them. So it's a beautiful base mix. It's got all sorts in there. Absolutely, I think there's about 12 different additives in there. So there's all sorts in there. There's Belacan in there. There's all sorts in there. Lovely stuff. It's got krill in there as well. So we had that. Now what we start doing now is we start slowly adding the base mix to the eggs. Now I never like to put the base mix in just one big, like just dropping that in like that. I'd much rather dust it so it gives you a nice coating of it. Slowly work it in. It takes a little bit of time to get it in there, but I might have made a little bit too much up here, but it doesn't matter. I can wrap a few. So again, we just dust in it off with that. Now it does need a little bit of rock salt in there as well. So we go with the old faithful pink Himalayan. Which I've done really well on over the last few years. I've got some in rock form as well. I've got some coming as well, some's ordered. So we get out another dusting. A couple of dustings. Now there's chunks in this of shrimp and Belacan. It's really nice base mix, definitely. So we want to get air in there, but we don't want to get that much air in it that we're going to end up with a mayonnaise. So it's no good overbeating it. Now this is the last thing on Paul's orders that he's going to need from me. Everything is ordered there. I don't think you did ask me what paste at the very beginning, and then I kind of forgot about asking him about it again, so I've done it him anyway. So you can actually see the that's in there, krill, and see them all there. There's all sorts going in that. So it's a beautiful paste, a great paste this as well if you're a match angler and you're looking for something a bit, or a barb angler, or even more so barbel. Match fishing, great for match fishing. Not only that as well, you could always punch a few. If you've got one of these, see if you can find it. If you've got something like that, what our last does Cat's Week, chop end off it, so it's flush at the end. When your paste is made, punch it through the paste, obviously with that up there, punch it through the paste and then straight into the water with it. It will give you a sausage that's probably, I'd say about 10 mil. And then just chop them into little pellet shapes, and you can use them, and then you can fish it on the pole. It's how the guys that have been match fishing have been doing just a bowl out making them bait, I'll tell you that now. But they're I definitely think that a lot can be learnt from match anglers, I won't be honest with you. So, and they really do well on the bait out make anyway, so a couple more on that. Now what we want here is we don't want it to be that dry that we need a little bit of oil in this actually. Now we'll normally go with a salmon oil, but all I'm using it for is just that little bit of, I'm not using it for any extraction at all, so any oil's good enough. It's just a little bit, just to give it that little bit of a just so the oil runs through it nicely, and it kind of, oil kind of stops it from drying out as fast. It doesn't dry out as fast. And not only that, it's the guy that's ordered it is he's hurt his arm, so he's not going to be on bank for a while. So by the time he gets on the bank, it probably will be spring. So either that or he's lying about his arm because he's scared of cold. No, he has done his arm in, so we'll roll that. We're not going to bother. There's no point rolling a. All I do with it is I roll it out into a sausage, chop it into 4. Not into 4. I'll show you in a minute anyway. So I do it into a sausage shape with 4 slits in. So if it can be took out at freezer then, and then just you snap a piece off, put the rest back in the freezer without having to defrost it all or trying to break it up while it's froze. But I don't think it's. I think it would be perfectly alright this without being in freezer. To be perfectly honest with you, it should be alright. Shouldn't be but I would have it in the freezer myself. But some people don't like doing that. But I do. It's in freezer, you know it's fresh. Now that paste is about perfect. Any more than that and it would definitely be, it would dry out too fast on him. So we've got that, maybe a touch, just a little touch more. So we dust that side and then we flip the paste over and we dust the back of it. And we just keep working it into it by breaking the paste right through to the middle. Now this maize flour that I've got, it took me a while to find the maize flour I'm happy with, but I'm definitely really happy with this one. It's really nice stuff. So this is a lovely. It's there when it does that. When it's picked everything up from the bowl. So it's pretty much done. It needs a little touch. It does, it needs a little touch more. It's just a little bit sticky. But we don't want it too... If it were for rolling boilers, it would be too wet. But because it's paste, we don't want it to be in any way too dry. Otherwise it's just going to be a nightmare for him to mould it around the baits that he's doing, because that's what he's doing. I think he does other fishing as well as just carp fishing. I think he fishes for other fish as well. So I think he may be fishing with this. Either I would personally be using this as paste wrap. Auto Attractions there from Krill bait. So, and that's the one that he's ordered, is the whale's breath. And this is pretty much it, apart from a few ingredients that I can't add because obviously it may go off. So we've got that. Beautiful, perfect. Right then, so queso. Again, lid on that base mix. Back into the cupboard that goes. Done loads of that today, absolutely loads of it. It's a, I just don't want to be messing about with having to roll a base mix and a base mix and the boilers just before I go fishing. It's an absolute nightmare. So now what we've got there, is you've got beautiful paste. Lovely. Well happy with that paste, it's lovely. A little bit sticky, but it's fine. The flowers will pull into that, and it'll be fine once it's been left to sit a bit. But that's nice. Happy with that. We'll give that a little wash, because it stinks. And then, like I said, all we do is I will show you actually down the centre of it first, to show you the inside of it. Now this is that's the interior. It's absolutely beautiful paste, it really is. Hang on, there you go. Copy goodness, that is, guys. Evenly distributed, everything's evenly distributed in it. The Belacan, the fish meal, the krill, everything is evenly spread throughout the bait, which is key. So that's the whale's breath in paste form. Now, all I do with that now is try and round it off so it looks a little bit neater, because I'm OCD on shit. And then I just do that with it. Now once I've it may not seem like much, but when you do that with it, it enables him to take it out of the freezer and just bust a bit for that day's fishing, rather than defrosting all the paste. It will just break off easily. Again, wash your hands. It really stinks, it does. It's a really smelly bait. Now, the coated pellets that I've done for him are, I put a couple of bags in with I put him a small bag of bloodworm in, dried bloodworm, and I've also put him a bag of the actual krill in. Now, I'm not doing coated pellets for everyone, it's just I'm doing it for him because he's a mate. So, I've done him them, but so all we do now is the cling film, right? Now it would be quite easily now to try and get it up best we can without breaking them seams. We gently fold that over it, pull it cling film back, and then rip it off. And then just gently pull it over. You don't want them seams. If them seams get covered up, then it becomes a nightmare for him to deal with. But there you go, that's the very last thing he's ordered off me. Decent order as well, that were. He's on for it with big time. I did some cured baits now, probably. It was during first lockdown, and they've come out absolutely really, really nice. I did them as a steamer to start with, and I'm so glad I did, for a simple reason of is the interior of them is soft. So, but they're still a really hard bait. But the interior of them, it's not soft, but what I'm saying is it'll take a baiting spike. So it's ideal for that, you know what I mean? And it's, when you could tell you've got it is, you don't end up with anything left on anywhere. Just a right little bit of residue left on the side there. Just get that up before Mrs. sees it and blames Paul. Right, so we get rid of that. And that's everything. So there you go, guys. That's the whale's breath in paste form. Fermented Belacan in it. It's a really nice fish. It does well on rivers as well. It's the thing that I lost them fish on this year, the bottom on the river this year on that. So straight into the freezer with it. So it needs it. as you will know by now, with me, everything is best when for us. But what I like to do is I do like to put it in one of these zip tie bags, as well as being wrapped in cling film, just so it kind of helps it protect it against like freezer burning and stuff like that. So I do like to do that, and I just pull it round, and then you know it's airtight and it's, you ain't gonna get no smell from it or whatever. You're not gonna animate freezer, but once it's took out, it's good to go. So there you go. 4 Maxwell Wales Ref and paste foam. Check you later, guys.